Good afternoon, everyone. It's now 12 noon, and we will begin our presentation on the June 2026 proposed service changes. I'd like to introduce Saul Cieza, who will make a quick announcement for our Spanish-speaking attendees.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Saúl Cieza. Si alguien necesita acceder a la versión en español de la presentación, pueden encontrarla en el enlace https://tiurl.com June 26 FFX Connector. Estará disponible ese enlace y estaré disponible para interpretar sus preguntas al final de la presentación. Muchas gracias.
Thanks so much, Saul. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. My name is Kayla Berry. I'm with the I'm sorry, excuse me. It's Tuesday. My name is Kayla Berry. I'm with the Fairfax County Department of Transportation, and I want to welcome you to this meeting to discuss the June 2026 proposed service changes. We want to remind you that this meeting is being recorded, and we also want to let you know that it may be posted on the county website and or our YouTube channel. This afternoon, we will offer the opportunity at the end of the presentation to ask questions. At that time, participants will ask their questions aloud. The chat feature has been disabled for this meeting, so we will not be taking any written questions. We encourage you to submit your comments to today's meeting using the online survey, online feedback form, written feedback, or phone call. Again, we'll have information on the various ways to provide comments at the end of this presentation. I'd now like to welcome Christian Basai with our transit planning team right here at FCDOT. Christian?
Thank you, Kayla. And again, I would like to welcome you to the Fairfax Connector June 2026 proposed service changes. So today's agenda, if we can move on to the agenda, thank you.
I'm tired.
Today's agenda will include an introduction, the purpose and rationale behind the service changes, and also we move on to a table that will summarize the proposed service changes. Then we'll go in depth into the changes by looking at the route profiles. And the next part of the presentation will cover the Title VI passenger right, and we will conclude the presentation with the next steps. So why are we proposing these changes? The reasoning behind the June 2026 service changes aligns with the county's continuous effort to assess and adjust as needed the transit system, and the proposed service refinements will improve system efficiency and resource allocation, resulting in the improvement of the system's on-time performance and reliability. So the next slide will cover, it is a table summarizing the description and the justification of the changes by route. One thing to note, most of the proposed changes aim to address two things. Number one, the enhancement of route efficiency and reliability. And number two, the route functionality to meet today's transit demand. Most of the service refinements will take place during weekday service with minimal impact to the level of service. The weekend service will be adjusted also with the elimination of Sunday service on Route 615, as well as the elimination of weekend service on Route 642, and the improvement in frequency on Route 983. The weekend adjustment on Route 615 and 642 is mainly due to low ridership. Don't worry, however, for Route 615, passenger can still use Route 630, 651, 670, 671, and Route 672 as replacement for Sunday service. And for Route 642, passenger can still use 651 and 901 as option for weekend service. I would like to point out that due to low demand, Route 552 and 622 will be discontinued, but other options will still be made available to passenger. As you can see in this table, you have other alternatives. If you were using Route 52, you can now use the following route for your travel option. You have 552, 558, 559, 574, 924, 950, the Ribs 1 and 3, and also the Ramada Silver Line. Those will be your service alternative if you were not able, if you used to get on 552. Again, I will repeat the option for 552. You have 558, 559, 574, 924, 950, Ribs 1, Ribs 3, and the Ramada Silver Line. For those who currently are using Route 622, once it's eliminated, they can use Route 605 and also 901 to as optional for the travel, whether it is around the county or outside of the county. So now that we have covered the table, we can move on to the route profile, and we will start with Route 101. So Route 101 is a local route that operates all day, 7 days a week on Fort Hunt Road with access to Mount Vernon Estate, Bellevue Shopping Center, and Huntington Metro Rail Station. 101 offer available transfer to more than a dozen routes, including Metrobus, as well as access to the Metro Rail. You can also use Route 101 for the Metro Rail. You have access to the Yellow Line. I want to mention that. And within a quarter-mile distance, when you use Route 101, you have access to more than 5 activity centers. And if you look in the box below, they are all listed. What we are proposing for the service changes is the adjustment of midday service during weekday. And the reason we're doing that is to match today's transit demand. No change to the weekend span of service. And weekend service remain as it is today. Oh, I'm sorry, no change to the weekdays, the weekday span, and the weekend service remain as it is today. So the weekday service will start at 4:26 a.m. and it will end at 11:53 p.m. with service every 30 minutes during rush hour and 35 minutes during non-rush hour. As you can tell by comparing the existing frequency and span to your right top corner, this is a minor adjustment to the rush hour frequency. The next route will be Route 109. So Route 109 is also a local route that operates all day, 7 days a week on Rose Hill Drive and Telegraph Road with access to Rose Hill Plaza, Huntington and Vernon Metro Rail stations. So with Route 109, you have available transfer to more than 17 routes, including Metrobus, as well as access to the Metro Rail, Yellow, and Blue lines. And within a quarter-mile distance, Route 101 connects a rider to more than 7 activity centers. So this is a great route you can use to access multiple activity centers. So what we are proposing for the service changes is the adjustment of midday service during weekday to match today's transit demand. No change to the weekday span of service. And for the weekend service, it will remain as it is today. So what we are proposing for service hour for the weekday service is for the route to start at 4:59 a.m. and to end at 11:20 p.m., which is the same service hours as currently. And service will operate every 30 to 35 minutes during rush hour and 60 minutes during non-rush hour. So compared to the existing frequency and span of service, there is no change. Next route will be Route 335. So Route 335 is a feeder route with weekday rush hour service only, and it operates on Fairfax County Parkway, Gunston Road, Morning View Drive, and Beulah Street, with access to Fort Belvoir and to Metro Rail Franconia Springfield Station. Route 335 offers available transfer to more than 21 routes, and they are all listed in the transfer available box, including Metrobus and OmniRide. You can also access the Metro Rail Blue Line and as well as the VRA Fredericksburg line. And when you use Route 335 within a quarter-mile distance, Rider can connect to more than 70 activity centers. So you can use it to travel for leisure, or you can use it to travel to work, or if you want to access a hospital. What we are proposing for the service changes is the runtime adjustment to improve on-time performance and service reliability. We want to make sure that the bus is coming on time as proposed in the schedule. So for the AM rush hour, service is from 6:05 a.m. and it will end at 10:08 a.m. Currently, service is at from 6:05 to 9:31. So as you can tell, service will end later during the AM rush hour. And for the PM rush hour, service will start at 2:52 p.m. and it will end at 6:49 p.m. with the bus operating every 20 to 35 minutes. The adjustment compared to existing service aim to enhance service reliability. We want to make sure that, again, like I said, the bus is coming to your stop on time. We will move on to the next route, which will be Route 401. So Route 401 with Route 402 are actually one of our top performing routes. They carry over 4,000 passengers, which is approximately about 12% of our weekday average ridership. Route 401 operates locally all day, 7 days a week, with service on Gallows Road, Annandale, Backley Road, and Merrifield. You can also access Innova Fairfax Hospital, as well as Don Loring, Tyson Corner, and Franconia Springfield Metro Rail Station. Route 401 offers available transfer to more than 42 routes, which is very important for those trying to travel within the county or outside of the county. And you can also use Route 401 to access the Metro Rail Blue Line and Orange Line, and also the Silver Line, as well as the VRA Fredericksburg station line in Franconia, Springfield. Within a quarter-mile distance, Route 401 connects a rider to more than 21 activity centers. So what are we proposing for service changes or service refinements for Route 401? It is an adjustment to weekday service only to improve on-time performance and service reliability. We are making no changes to weekend service. So for the weekday service, what we're proposing for service hours is for the route to start at 3:35 a.m. and to end at 1:32 a.m. It's just a difference of a minute if you look at the current service hours, as it ends at 1:31 a.m. The bus will operate every 15 to 20 minutes during rush hour and every 20 to 30 minutes during non-rush hour. Again, the minor proposed service refinement compared to the existing service aim to enhance service reliability. The next route will be Route 402, which operate in the opposite direction as 401, as they operate in the southbound direction. This is also, it is a local route, similar to 401. It is an all-day service, 7 days a week, with service to Gallows Road, Annandale, Backley, Merrifield, and also access to Innova Fairfax Hospital, Don Loring, Tyson, and Franconia Springfield Metro Rail Station. Similar to Route 401, Route 402 offers available transfer to more than 42 routes, including Metrobus and OmniRide, as well as it gives you access to the Metro Rail, Blue, Orange, and Silver lines, and the VRE Fredericksburg line in Franconia Springfield. So within a quarter-mile distance, Route 402 connects rider to more than 21 activity centers. So what we're proposing for Route 402 in terms of the adjustment, similar to 401, is adjustment to weekday service only to improve on-time performance and service reliability. No changes to weekend service. The weekday service will operate from 4:02 a.m. until 2:26 a.m. Compared to current service, it is 4:02 to 2:29 a.m. And the bus will run every 15 to 20 minutes during rush hour and every 20 to 30 minutes during non-rush hour. Again, the proposed refinement compared to existing service aim to enhance service reliability. We want to make sure that the bus is coming there on time and your experience with the transit system is joyful. The next route we will cover is Route 432. This is a local route with weekday rush hour service only. Route 432 operates via Spring Hill Road, Lewinsville Road, and Farm Credit with connection to Spring Hill Metro Rail Station and Farm Credit Administration. Passenger using Route 432 can transfer to more than 6 connectors route and the Silver Line and have access to over 7 activity centers within a quarter-mile distance. So for adjustment, what we are proposing for Route 432 is adjustment to weekday frequency to improve on-time performance and service reliability. No change to the span of service. So for the service hours, the AM rush hour will be between 5:31 a.m. till 9:20 a.m. And the PM rush hour will start at 3:27 p.m. and end at 7:20 p.m. It will be similar to what we're currently operating. It's the same service hours for the PM rush hour. Service will be every 60 minutes. As I say, this is a rush hour service, so there's no non-rush hour service. Compared to existing service, the last trip will operate later till 9:20 a.m. for the AM rush hour. So the next route will be 461. 461 is a feeder route with all day weekday service only. Route 461 operates via Tapawingo Road, Park Street, Flint Hill Road, Bushman Drive, and Maple Avenue. Passengers using Route 461 can transfer to more than a dozen other routes, including Metrobus and Q, as well as the Orange Line, and have access to over 6 activity centers within a quarter-mile distance. So for service refinement, we're proposing a minor adjustment to improve efficiencies. We want to make sure that the service is reliable and it is a good experience to travel using 461. No change to the span of service. So for service hours, what we're proposing is the same service hours as currently. So the bus will operate from 6 a.m. until 7:55 p.m. with service every 40 minutes during rush hour compared to every 20 minutes currently, and every 40 minutes during non-rush hour, which is similar to what we're operating right now. So let's move on to Route 463. So Route 463 is a local route that operates in a northbound and southbound direction with service on North Lee Street, Maple Avenue, and Gonsnell Road. When you use Route 463, you have access to multiple routes, including actually a total of 25 routes you can transfer to, including Metrobus and Q routes. You also have access to the Orange and Silver Lines Metro Rail service. When you use Route 463, within a quarter-mile distance, you can access more than 9 activity centers, and they're all listed in the box below. So for service hours, the route will start at 5:05 a.m. and it will end at 11:48 p.m., which is similar to what we're currently operating. We're proposing a service adjustment to improve weekdays efficiency on Route 463 to ensure that the bus is running on time and is meeting you at your stop as designed in the schedule. No change to the span of service. So to go back to the level of service, what we're proposing for the rush hour is for the bus to run every 25 to 30 minutes. And during non-rush hour, it is to every 30 minutes. Currently is running every 20 minutes during rush hour and every 30 minutes during non-rush hour. So let's move on to the next route, which will be Route 553. This is a feeder route that operates in the northbound and southbound direction with access to Reston South Park and Ride. It also operates on Viking Drive, Herndon Senior Center, Herndon Harbor House, Kingstream Drive, and you also have access to Herndon Metro South Station. When you use Route 553, you can transfer to more than 17 routes, including Loudon Transit, Route 312. But also you can use Route 553 to access the Metro Rail Silver Line. Within a quarter-mile distance, Route 553 allows you to connect to more than 9 activity centers. So for service refinement, what we are proposing for 553 is an adjustment due to low ridership. No change to the span of service. So for service hours, the route will start at 5:40 a.m. during AM rush, and it will end at 9:42 a.m. compared to 5:40 a.m. to 9:46 currently. And during PM rush hour, the route will start at 3:05 p.m. and it will end at 7:22 p.m. So the bus will come every 40 minutes during rush hour. Currently, it is operating every 20 minutes during rush hour. Again, as I said, due to low ridership, we're making an adjustment to improve service reliability and also to make sure that the bus is coming there on time and meeting you where you are. So we'll move on to the next route, which will be Route 615. This is a local route in the eastbound and westbound direction. Not only Route 615 connects passengers traveling from the Fair Lakes and Fair Shopping Center area to Reston, but it also offers transfer to more than 18 routes, including Metrobus. And within a quarter-mile distance, when you use Route 615, you can connect to you can access 19 activity centers. And for service adjustment, what we are proposing on Route 615 is adjustment to weekday service due to low ridership. No change to weekday span of service. We are also eliminating Sunday service. And previously, earlier we covered the elimination of Sunday service and also gave you the service alternative, meaning other option you can use with the elimination of Sunday service on Route 615. The next route we will go over is Route 642. This is a feeder route that operates weekday only. with service to and from Centerville Road via Stone Road, Aubrey, Patton Drive, Braddock Road, as well as Westfield Boulevard. A passenger who use Route 642 can connect to 6 connector routes and have access to 6 activity centers, including Centerville Stone Park and Ride and Solly Station Government Center Park and Ride. And that allows for greater connectivity and travel option inside or outside of the county. So for service adjustment on Route 642, what we are proposing is weekday service to be reduced to rush hour only. 2 trips will operate during midday, and the weekend service will be eliminated. And previously, we provided you with service alternative as a result of a weekend service being eliminated on 642. You will still have other option to use for your travel as now that the weekend service is going away on 642. So for service hours, what we are proposing is for the AM rush hour to start at 6 a.m. and end at 8:50 a.m. During midday, we'll have service from 12:13 p.m. until 1:12 p.m. This is a limited service during non-rush hour. And during PM rush hour, service will start at 3 p.m. and it will end at 5:56 p.m. And as I said, rush hour service will be every 60 minutes and non-rush hour is a limited service. And there's no service on the weekend on Route 642. So we can move on now to Route 950. So Route 950 is an all-day route, 7 days a week with service to Herndon Metro Station from Reston Town Center Transit Station via Walgate, Alden Street, and it gives you access to Reston Hospital Center. And this is a great route for those trying to travel within Reston or outside of Reston, as it provides available transfer to over 18 connectors route, as well as the Silver Line. Along the route, you have access to more than 11 activity centers within a quarter-mile distance. So to ensure the bus is running on time, what we are proposing is a minor service adjustment to weekday service. No change to the span of service. We want to make sure that the reason why we're making that we're improving efficiency is to ensure that you enjoy your travel experience when you catch Route 950, as we're hoping that it will improve on-time performance. The service hours will remain as it is today. So we can move on to the last route, which will be Route 983. Route 983 is one of the 2 connector routes with access to Dulles Airport. It operates all day, 7 days a week via Park Center Drive as Park Center Road and Air and Space Museum Parkway with access to both Innovation Center Metro Station and Udvar Hazy Air and Space Museum. And this is a cost-saving route for those who park at the Metro Rail Station, as it will cost you less to utilize Route 983 compared to your parking fee. You have transfer available to over 9 routes, as well as the Silver Line. And those who use Route 983 can have access to over 10 activity centers within a quarter-mile distance. So what we are proposing for service refinement is to adjust the weekend schedule to improve service reliability and on-time performance. No change to the weekday service. We receive a request from the Dulles Airport to relocate the stop by the airport. And as a result of that, the route alignment will be impacted. So for service hours on 983, what we are proposing for Saturday, as the weekday service is not going to be impacted by these changes. The changes only impact the weekday service. So I will just go over the weekday service, the weekend service, I'm sorry. For Saturday, the route will start at 7:09 a.m. and it will end at 6:51 p.m. And it will run every 40 to 60 minutes on Saturday. And for Sunday service, Route 983 will start at 7 a.m. and it will end at 7:13 p.m. with service every 40 to 60 minutes. Currently, the route operates every 60 minutes on weekends with service from 7:16 until 7:04 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. So now that we have gone over the route profile, we will move on to the Title 6. So Fairfax County works to ensure that its transit services are provided in a non-discriminatory manner. Therefore, we conduct service changes. Therefore, when we conduct service changes, we have to ensure that the proposed changes do not cause a disparate impact or a disproportionate burden. And for the June 2026 proposed changes, a disparate impact was identified for Route 642. And Title 6 require justification or a mitigation to be provided if a DI, which stands for disparate impact, is identified. So FCDOT's justification and mitigation is that limited midday service on Route 642 was retained to maintain access and mobility. Now let's go over the next step. So what we are proposing for the next step is for the final changes and service refinement to take place during spring of 2026. And we're anticipating the board approval for spring 2026 and service implementation during summer of 2026. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Christian. Thank you for the presentation. At this time, we'd like to open the meeting up for questions and comments, and here are the instructions. Please raise your hand located at the top of your screen. We will enable your microphone and call on you to ask your question. Please unmute yourself when your name is called and ask your question to provide your comment. Please mute yourself after you have asked your question. If you are on the phone, press *5 to raise your hand. When you are called upon by your phone number, press *6 to unmute. After you are finished, please push *6 to mute yourself. If you are Spanish speaking, you can simply raise your hand and we will have an interpreter for you. All right. Any questions? All right. I see Mr. Schindeldecker. Would you like to go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question?
Sure thing. Hello, Fairfax Connector staff. Good to see some of you again, or hear from you at least. I want to question or comment on two routes here. I'm acting on behalf of the town of Herndon right now as a transportation engineer. Route 552, with the elimination or consolidation of this route, I'm curious if there were considerations or does staff have comment on kind of potential gaps in service, specifically on the western side of the town of Herndon or even the eastern side of Loudoun County, knowing that's technically outside of the county. Curious what some thoughts are there. And the second part of that question is, this is one of the few routes that kind of travel east-west in the greater Herndon-Reston area. Knowing there are some connections, but the bulk of the service is focused on Metro, I'm a little worried about I guess perception of connectivity and service for people who choose not to use Metro or find that to be maybe a burden or a challenge. Maybe best ways to think about that and maybe ways to work with my others, my constituents. So first question, then I have one on 553 as well.
Okay, well, let's start with that one first. Christian, would you like to respond, or do you want to push that to Michael or Kyle?
Well, at the moment, we don't anticipate any service gap, as you mentioned, but we are always, working diligently to ensure that connectivity is provided whenever is needed. So we thank you for your concern. This is something we will look into, and if our resources are available, we will address that.
Okay.
I
Thank you,
also want to
Christian.
add that with these two routes that are being discontinued, these are generally low performing routes. And so we made these decisions with the anticipation that this would impact the least amount of customers. That's what we anticipate with this change. So I just wanted to add that in.
Thank you, Kyle. Mr. Schindlecker, you had a question about the 553?
Sure. This route is, despite maybe overall low ridership, heavily traveled by Herndon High School students within the walk zone of the school. I was curious if the schedule will be adjusted such that it aligns with reporting and dismissal times of the school, because I've seen this bus get basically overpacked. I have personal experience with that. So I want to make sure that we're still providing that service at a reasonable schedule for high schoolers to get to and from school.
Christian?
Yeah, we made a minor service adjustment, so there will be minimal impact to at all. Actually, I don't think there will be any impact to the students. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle or Michael.
This is Michael Felchow. I am
Mike.
Hi, Mike. So there will be no impact to your schedules for the school and bell times. We specifically looked at how we could mitigate that and maintain service to the schools.
Okay. The change, please correct me if I'm wrong, it looked like a reduction of rush service from 20-minute headway to 40-minute headway. Was that what the change was on?
Yes.
Okay. So is rush in alignment with the school periods, or?
Yes.
Okay, so.
Yeah, we're just shifting the schedule, making sure that the schedule is as close to the bell times as possible.
Okay, I apologize if I'm misunderstanding this.
That's okay.
Will there be fewer number of vehicles servicing this route during rush?
Yes.
Okay.
But the vehicles that will operate during bell time. So we're moving it so it's close to bell time as possible.
Okay. Maybe
So-
when this, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so basically one of the priorities, I manage the student bus pass program, the free student bus pass program. So accessibility is really important, and the planning team has made it a priority to make sure that we have service and, for all the schools that we do service directly, we try to make sure that there is at least a bus right after bell time within a reasonable time frame for the kids to get out to the bus. Now, for those kids, and correct me if I'm wrong, Michael, if those kids miss that bus, they may have to wait a minute to get the next one. So
Yes.
we can certainly, in fact, Saul Cieza, who is our Spanish translator, he coordinates the student bus pass program with me, and we can make sure that we notify Fairfax High School to make sure their students know of the new schedule change and to make sure they get out there. Now, if we notice that the buses are getting a bit overwhelmed, or if there's not enough space on the bus for the kids, we can discuss a ghost bus or something around that departure time that we could possibly, if we notice that there's an overflow situation, we can certainly address that through our normal operational process. So hopefully that helps alleviate.
Kayla, that was I really appreciate that, because that was great, better than what I would have said. But Mike, what we're going to do is we're going to take the schedule back, make sure that it is closer to bell time. If you want to contact us out of this framework of what we're doing here at public meeting, so we can make sure that we're getting the bell time right, we can do that too. So we want to make sure that we hit that bell time. We know it's important for the high school.
Right.
And that's why that route was designed the way it is, how it goes around the high school. So we're gonna make sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that way we just don't want kids standing out there for a long period of time either.
Yep.
So we really work hard to make sure that that's addressed. But if there is some notification or advance notification required, if the board approves these proposed changes, and there's no modification to the schedule based on your input or any other input we receive, we'll certainly make sure we coordinate with Herndon High School and make sure that they know what the schedule is and make sure that the kids know when to make sure they get out there so that they can catch the bus on time.
There is another route that passes right in front of the school. I believe it's 924. It also passes in front of the school. So you still have two routes operating right in front of the high school. 924 has more frequency than 553. So,
yeah. Okay, I can thank you for the response. I could maybe follow up with Mike outside of this forum, but I appreciate staff time. Thank you.
Absolutely, Mr. Schindeldecker. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody else, for your patience. I know there were a lot of hands up and then they seem to drop down. Are there? Oh, here we go. Mr. Bundix, did I pronounce that correctly? Please feel free to unmute yourself.
Hi, I'm Zoltan, and I just have some comments about routes 670, 671, and 672. So right now these are limited stops, and I think it would be nice if they stopped at all the stops. And I think that it's limited stop to try and make it faster, but there's still very long traffic signal phases where the bus waits for a long time. So I think if it made all the stops, the time would even out. And also on Nutley Street, especially for 671, the Metro bus service has been reduced with the Better Bus program. 1A has been replaced with F61, which only operates every 40 minutes instead of every 20 minutes. And Fairfax City is proposing to remove Q-Bus from Nutley Street with their transit development plan. And so it will be especially helpful if 670, 671, and 672 could stop there. And then also 672 on Route 29 between Vienna and Don Loring is essentially a copy of the Orange Line because it doesn't stop at all. So it would be more useful if it stopped. And then if these buses served all the stops, we could also potentially eliminate 651, except for the western end, which could save resources. Thank you.
It's a great question and a good suggestion. Christian or anyone else have a response to Mr. Bundix?
Well, thank you for your comment. We will consider that, and we actually taking notes right now. And we will look into it, for our future service changes. And if resources are available, we can consider that in future adjustment. Thank you very much for submitting your comment.
I do want to add one thing. When our transit planning team says that they're going to look into something, they actually do look into it. And they are really taking your feedback into account for these changes. And if it's something they can't do right away, oftentimes they will find ways to make changes in the future. So I just want to reassure you that this isn't like just like thank you for your comment, moving on. They really, really, truly do take all of your comments to heart. So thank you so much for such thoughtful feedback. Mr. Pacula? Would you like to, or Pukula?
Yeah, for 622, I understand the ridership is low when I ride it, but it's a short trip though. So does that change it anything, or is still going to be discontinued? 622.
Christian, 642?
622, Pennybrook one, the Pennybrook Rush.
The Pennybrook route.
No, the 622 will be discontinued, correct. But as I mentioned during the presentation, you will still have option with the 605, and I believe 901 also will be optional for you.
Where does
I don't know if
901
that
go?
answer.
Okay, thank you.
901.
No, 901. Hold on. It will only be 605. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Does that help, Mr. Pakula?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, SAS is not a frequent, I believe, but I need to check the hours for 605 because 622 is near my apartment. That's why. Yeah.
Oh, got you, got you. Which apartment complex do you live in? That might help the planning
Pennybrook.
team. Oh, in Penderbrook.
Pennybrook
Okay.
condo apartment. Yeah.
Okay, great. That just context helps the planning team better understand your question and your feedback. So, Mr. Maloney, hi, welcome.
Hey, thanks for doing this. I've got a
No
couple
problem.
of questions about 461 and 463. Those are your two Vienna, Oakton, Tyson's routes. I noticed both of them have decreased weekday rush hour frequency in your proposal, going from 461 going from 20 minutes to 40 minutes, and 463 going to 30 minutes from 20 minutes. This in the morning commute is not necessarily a problem because we traveling to the metro to get to our work can adjust our departure time and the bus will get us at the station in time to catch the train. The problem is coming back at night when Metro Rail has a hiccup like it did today, and it took me 2 hours to get to Foggy Bottom. I will miss my bus by 5 minutes, and then I will be faced with a 35-minute wait, and no point between either of, well, at least on the 461 route, is further than a 40-minute walk from the station. So literally it's faster for me to walk the 2 miles to my house than it is to wait for the bus. Can you please comment on the rationale between decreasing both of these routes frequencies? Thanks.
Thank you. It was an excellent question. Christian, team?
I don't know if Michael want to cover that or Kyle.
Yeah, I'll cover it, Christian. That is an excellent question, and it was a challenge. It was really a challenge where we could make adjustments to deal with our limited resource allocation issues. So we reduced 461 to 40 minutes. What we need to do to address your concern is we may need to shift the schedule over so it matches the Metro Rail a little closer than it used to. When we had 20 minutes, it wasn't really that bad of a situation. We could maybe miss it, and people didn't have a long wait. So, but I want to make sure that the schedule is going to have to be closer to the Metro Rail schedule. So, if you go on, do us a favor and go online to our survey, and there's a place where you can put your comment. You can put your comment in there, or what times you think the bus should operate, and then we can take a look at that and maybe shift the schedule around so you don't have that 40-minute walk. So whatever you could provide us in that survey would be very beneficial for us to improve the schedule. The rationale simply goes down to the question of resources. We took a look at a lot of routes and we had to make adjustments and had to make hard decisions. Route 463, along with routes like 950 and 924, had a lot of resources on them, but relatively on certain trips, it was relatively low ridership, or ridership didn't respond to the increases that we provided. Like on Route 950, we went up to 15-minute service, but the ridership really didn't respond to the increase. So we're bringing it back to where it used to be at 20 minutes. For 463, it was really more of an on-time performance issue and a little extra resources that maybe we really didn't need on the route. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make some balances between our limited resources and the market demand. So that's where we really are trying to do that. But when we hear from citizens like yourself that says, hey, I don't want to, I could just walk it, that means that our schedule needs to be adjusted a little bit on that one. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that. But thank you for your comment.
So they've written that comment down, but I would definitely encourage you, as Michael said, to go into the survey, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes and how to access that so that you can provide your feedback. So that was excellent, excellent comment. That's the kind of stuff we like to hear. You know, we really want to do real world. I do want to follow up. You said that Metro had a snafu today. So I mean, obviously, if there's something happening that's sort of out of our control, that's not something that we can fix. But certainly, the planning team will take your comment and take a harder look at the schedule and see what they can do. Any other questions? Oh, Mr. Maloney, go ahead.
Yeah, not just to Metro generally makes the connection on time, but the current timing of 461 leaves often 2 minutes to get from the train platform to the bus stop. And in many times, just even, a 2-minute delay on Metro means I miss that bus. And
Yeah.
currently it's a 20-minute wait, which isn't bad. But if it goes to 40 minutes, it's impossible.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And how much time do you feel like you need? Like 5-10 minutes? You feel like that's within 10 minutes of the rail? Would that be ideal, or?
Yeah, I mean, I can't, you can't account for Metro Rail because they had a switch problem today outside Foggy Bottom. It was delayed for an hour. So, we live, right? But the timing of the bus departing the station and the time is danger close to not making the bus connection.
Okay.
On
So
arrival in the morning, there's enough frequency of the trains that, okay, I wait 7 minutes, it's not a big deal. But it's
But on
the
the way
evening
home.
commute is the problem.
Got it. I got you. So we need to allow a little more time in
We
there.
gotta,
Okay.
yeah, we're just
Gotta
gonna
right
look at
time
this. Yeah, we're gonna look at the schedule and we're gonna shift it. That's why I want you to tell us what time you're getting off the train. What time do you usually get off the train? That tells us that maybe we just need to shift the bus to that time. We've done it before when other people have called us up and given us information and we said, okay, we'll just shift the timing. And so we gotta, since we're reducing this from 20 to 40, we gotta make sure that we're matching the train a little closer. We don't have the flexibility anymore on the route. But
Yeah.
yes, I hear you.
Great. Thank you so much. Excellent, thoughtful questions and great feedback from our team. Anyone else have any questions that we need to ask today's session? All right, I'm about to call it here and give you the final instructions for the end of our meeting. All righty, so we've now come to the end of the meeting. If you didn't get a chance to provide feedback verbally or would prefer to submit feedback online, please visit the Fairfax Connector webpage for a link to public input and fill out the online survey. That survey is available in both English and Spanish, so we hope that's helpful. Comments are going to be accepted through March 1st, 2026. That's a Sunday. So you can relax and fill out your survey by then. That would be great. You can also, let's see here. You can email us at fairfaxconnector@fairfaxconnector.com. We invite you to send your comments and questions by mail to Fairfax County Department of Transportation, attention Transit Planning, and then put in proposed summer 2026 service changes. That's at and Fairfax Connector at 4050 Legato Road, Fairfax, Virginia 22033. And then finally, if you'd like to call us by phone, you can call our customer information center at 703-339-7200. If you require TTY access, then you can dial 703-339-1608. So thank you all so much for joining us this afternoon. We will have a repeat of this meeting this evening at 7 p.m. The recording from this particular meeting, our lunch and learn, as we like to call it, will be online probably tomorrow. As soon as our webmaster can get it up, and I can download it from the site. So again, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you so much for your thoughtful questions, your feedback, and please know on behalf of the entire FCDOT team, we appreciate you. We appreciate your patronage. We appreciate you riding Fairfax Connector and helping us make it the best you can be. Thanks again, everyone. Have a great day.